Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Careless Whispod, the podcast where we gotta move these refrigerators, we gotta move these colour TVs.
That ain't working. That's the way you do it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This week we talk about the Dire Straits classic, Money for Nothing.
Money for Nothing. And the two pelicans that are gonna be discussing this song with you is Gary.
And Jeremy. And at time of this recording... Gary, good to be back.
It is.
And at time of this recording, I believe episode 1 has gone live. We are live to the world.
Yeah, so for the listener, it's episode 4, but for us, number one's out there. And as I predicted in episodes 2 and 3, I predicted a big success. A big success. Yeah. Well, baby steps.
In all honesty, it's apt that we're doing this song now that we're getting money for nothing and our chicks for free.
You're getting money and chicks?
Did you not?
I gotta.
Oh, I thought no.
I gotta talk to my agent.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that later. Wait, you got an agent?
Wait a minute.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, off the 1985 album Brothers in Arms. What a record.
Oh, man.
What a record.
I have a lot of memories of my dad playing that album a lot when I was a kid.
Same here. And even the title track, Brothers in Arms, is, what else is on that record? Is Walk of Life on that record as well?
I believe it is, yes.
So many hits, which may, who knows, be the subject of future episodes. But this song, Money for Nothing, was Dire Straits' most commercially successful single of their career. Number 1 for 3 weeks in the US, number 4 in the UK, and number 4 in Australia as well, I believe. So
that's just for the single?
That's just for the single, yeah.
The album, I actually have some chart information for the album Brothers in Arms as well. So, Brothers in Arms, in the UK, that UK albums chart, it was number 1 for 10 weeks. And the Billboard 200 in the US, it was number 1 for 9 weeks.
Jeez.
And in the Australian albums chart, number 1 for 34 weeks.
34 weeks.
It was a bit of a popular album.
We loved them here, and they did a huge tour, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
later in the episode. Yeah. They got a 1986 Grammy for Best Rock Performance. You were saying they got another Grammy as well. I can't remember what that one was for.
Might have been something to do with the album sales, I think, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't have it in my notes.
Well, it sold a metric fuck ton, so
yeah.
Got the video of the year for the 3rd MTV Video Music Awards, which I kind of like considering the lyrics.
Sure.
But before we go any further, have you got a bit of stuff? Give us some. Set the scene, Gary.
Okay, so the band.
What have Dire Straits been doing up until this point?
Well, the band formed in London in 1977. It surprises me that they're British, actually.
Really? No, that doesn't surprise.
Growing up with them and stuff, they had such an American kind of sound to me, I thought.
Yeah, and they obviously had a lot of success in America.
Yeah.
Which, do you see that kind of crossover these days? I don't know. I don't pay attention to modern pop music.
No, I don't really either. It's just all this old shit for the podcast.
Yeah.
So the members then were Mark and David Knopfler.
His brothers, I knew that.
Yeah, Brothers in Arms.
Yeah. Are they all?
Even though his brother wasn't actually on Brothers in Arms, so yeah.
Oh.
Then we had John Ilsley on the bass and Pick Withers on drums and percussion in the early days of the band. Anyway, for Brothers in Arms, it was a bit of a different lineup. Mark Knopfler and Ilsley was still there.
Mm-hmm.
But we had Alan Clark on keys, Guy Fletcher on keys and vocals, and Terry Williams on the drums. Oh, there's also a guy named Omar Hakim on the drums as well.
Oh, yeah. He's quite a famous player. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mark Knopfler was really the mainstay of the band.
The Knopf.
The Knopf.
The Knopf.
The Knopf. Money for Knopfing.
It was his project, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think there was never any sort of second guessing as to who was in charge of Dire Straits.
Well, totally. He's quite an interesting figure himself. He had 9 solo albums, and he recorded 9 film scores.
Yeah, he's gone on to have quite the career, hasn't he?
Yeah, he recorded the score for The Princess Bride, for Wag the
Dog.
Dog.
I forgot that. He did too.
Yeah.
That was a great sound and a great film.
Oh, man. Anybody want a peanut? Yeah, it's really good.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
As you wish, Gary. As you wish.
Let's see. The Knopf.
The Knopf.
Recorded and performed with Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Elton John, Van Morrison, Phil Lynott, Brian Ferry, B.B. King, and so many more. He produced albums for Bob Dylan, Tina Turner,
Did he?
Randy Newman as well.
I mean, he is up there as one of the sort of heroes of 70s and 80s guitar rock, right?
Totally.
Like, he's up there with Clapton. He's up there with...
Most definitely.
You know, all those sort of players... Well, literally everyone you just mentioned, really. You know?
Yeah.
There's a great video clip which we might try and link on... link below. There's a great interview he does. He's on Parkinson. And he has 3 guitars with him. I think it's 2 or 3 guitars. And he quickly takes you through how he sort of came up with some of his major riffs, one of which is Money for Nothing.
Oh.
And it's just really good to sort of get that sort of insight into his playing. And
Well, shall we move off the Knopf and get onto...
the double Knopf.
and get onto how he came up with that riff?
I always tie my shoes in double Knopfs. Well, that guitar tone in this, I didn't know this. The guitar tone in Money for Nothing, he was modelling off Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top.
Oh, ZZ Top. I hope they make an appearance in a later episode.
That would be good.
Yeah, maybe Legs or Sharp Dressed Man.
Yeah,
like
surely. Yes, that would be great.
Anything from Eliminator, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would fit this
I thought they only did
podcast.
one record. And so much so, Rolling Stone considers Money for Nothing the 94th greatest guitar song of all time.
Indeed, they do.
There you go.
Which is great, because Mark Knopfler was actually self-taught on the guitar.
Yeah, wow.
He has 3 honorary degrees in music from various English universities.
But he's self-taught.
Self-taught.
I love that shit.
Considered a virtuoso. Like, he's,
Doesn't play with
famous.
a pick either, I don't think.
I don't believe he does.
Yeah, doesn't play with a
look
pick.
like he does in the videos that I watch.
But he's a virtuoso, we may never know.
We may never know.
Um,
So just on the riff a little further.
you want to riff on the riff?
Let's riff on the riff. This is Riff on Riffs. Yes, dear listener, thank you. Welcome to the inaugural segment of Riffing on Riffs with Gary and Jeremy.
Yep. Thank you for joining us.
The
Podcast within the podcast.
In the podcast, we mentioned in the last episode that it's mainly we're saving you the time of looking at Wikipedia, song facts, and genius. I actually went a bit deeper on this song.
Oh, you've gone above and beyond.
I have. I watched a bunch of docos and interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I watched 2 docos.
With the Knopf?
One was with the Knopf.
Yeah.
And one was with the rest of the band.
Yeah. Without the Knopf.
Without the Knopf.
Oh, no Knopf.
This was primarily focused on Money for Nothing in particular.
Wow, okay, yeah.
So one was, the doco was going through his guitars like he was doing on
Parky, yeah.
And they were talking about the guitar he used to write Money for Nothing. And
I'm pretty sure it was a Les Paul, right?
I believe so.
As opposed to, I think he usually played a Strat.
Yeah.
But I think for this, he picked up a Les Paul because he wanted to get that tone.
He wanted to get that tone. And so what he did to get that tone was, he used that particular guitar, like you say. But he also had it hooked up to a wah pedal.
It was a wah pedal, and that's how they get the...
Yeah, he just compressed it like halfway. And that's how
That's how you get that...
Yeah. So that's how he says he got the tone. The rest of the band in the other doco...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, shit. It's on. It's controversy already.
Oh, man. This is great.
Mired in controversy, this song. The rest of the band was saying they were in the studio They were ready to record the song. Someone knocked the mic, and it was pointing at the floor rather than at the amp. And it gave it a whole different sound when the mic was pointed away from the amp. And they were about to move it back to where it was, and they were like, no, let's keep it like this because it sounds amazing. And that's how the rest of the band reckoned they got the tone.
Yeah, right.
So it's up to you, listener. You decide.
Man, there you go. I don't know what to believe anymore.
well, the microphone bit was on Wikipedia, so I probably wouldn't believe that too much.
Well, you shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet.
That's weird. I mean, that's what this podcast is about, just everything we read on the internet.
Pretty much. So not only are we saving you time from Wikipedia, Songfacts, and Genius.com, now it's just YouTube as well.
Basically, yeah. Actually, I think one was on Vimeo. So
wow, so, that was Riffs on Riffs, the inaugural Riffs on Riffs.
I think we'll keep it.
Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, can we keep him?
Yeah,
we can. Speaking of, we can't speak about Money for Nothing without speaking about the mighty backing vocals by one Gordon Sumner.
Gordon Sumner, a.k.a.
Sting.
Sting.
The Police ideally hope are a subject of a future episode. But in the meantime, he's credited as a co-writer, but has said in interviews the only thing he wrote was "I Want My MTV" in that intro, and then obviously in the outro as well. What I loved was I think he also admitted that it's the exact same rhythm as "Don't Stand So Close to Me." Like, I want my MTV, don't stand so close to me. I think I should have researched this further. I think they were recording at the same studio.
Ah, right. I see.
Or it was either that or he was on holidays or something like that. And they said, "Hey, do you want to have a blow?" You know?
Do you want to make some quick money? It would seem.
Yeah. He's credited as a co-writer. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and all he wrote was that one.
That's
track,
all he wrote,
and then he performed it on the song as well.
That's it. That's good. That's money for nothing, right there. Now, let's move into lyrical territory here.
Yeah.
Now, famously, the lyrics were written around overheard lyrics in like an appliance store in New York, I think. I think it was in New York.
I'm not sure. I think it was in America somewhere. Yeah, and it was an appliance store. So
the verses are written in they're a character. Is it written in the first person or third? I don't know. I don't know enough of it. Write in and tell us.
It would be the first person, I think.
Yeah, but it's a character. He's got a quote here. The lead character in Money for Nothing is a guy who works in the hardware department in a television, custom kitchen, refrigerator, microwave appliance store. He's singing the song. I wrote the song when I was actually in the store. I borrowed a bit of paper and started to write the song down in the store. I wanted to use a lot of the language that the real guy actually used when I heard him because it was more real. Do you know Motley Crue actually thought it was about them?
Oh, serious?
Yeah. I think it was Nicky Six piped up and sort of said, "Oh, I think it's about us."
That's like a bit of a Carly Simon, "You're So Vain."
Yeah, isn't it? Right? It's just like, no, you pelican. That's not about you. You know. But we are skirting around the issue, Gary. That has made this song. I mean, it caught a controversy when it came out, and it's continued to do so for this day, which is the use of the word faggot.
Right.
That little, what is it? The line being specifically, that little faggot got his own jet airplane, I think. That little faggot's a millionaire.
Yeah, isn't there a line about he has an earring in his ear?
In his makeup. Earring in his makeup.
Yeah.
Anyway. And look, at the time, I think it caught a controversy from obviously not only people within the gay community, but and sort of gay radio stations.
Gay radio station and newspapers.
Newspapers. In 2011, Canada actually banned it.
Banned the song from the radio.
That has since been repealed.
I remember reading that a couple of radio stations in Canada would play the unedited version in protest. And I think one radio station even played it on repeat for an hour
I think it was a couple of hours, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I mean, look, I want my MTV as much as anyone. But for 2 hours, you know,
I think that's too much.
Do you know what? I think it's interesting that we bring this up in this day and age, Gary.
Sure.
Because this is the hot thing, right? Even to this day, the sort of whole concept of free speech and censorship and all that kind of stuff is now, in this day and age, more prevalent than ever, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about it earlier. We didn't want to sort of go into this too much because honestly, it's the subject of a podcast unto itself.
Totally.
And we're about the good time, pop fun times here on Careless Whispod, but we can't not address it.
Sure.
And we were sort of saying
more about the joy that we find in these songs. Not like negative connotations
exactly.
and all this kind of stuff.
But honestly, we were sort of saying, I 100% see both sides of the argument.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, there was a great article, and we might link the article by Sady Doyle from The Guardian in 2011. And I mean, it's The Guardian, so it's probably giving you a little bit of an idea on what way it leans. But and we'll link it below. But, you know, and it said rightly, Sady, I'm assuming, Sady is a lady? Could be a cleaning lady, could not be, doesn't matter.
Did you assume her gender?
I did. I have to, because I don't know. She said, well, faggot is a word that is specifically intended to hurt and dehumanize gay people. Yep. You know? That said, it is written as a character, isn't it?
It's a character. This is what I was just saying before we started recording, is that when anyone's writing anything, a story or a movie, whatever, if they put words in the mouths of their worst, most despicable characters, it's because the writer wants to show how negative those ideas are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The words that they're saying. And so, of course, this pompous character who is the basis of this song would say something degrading like that. It'd be homophobic.
Well, I think it's implied that he did say it.
Yeah,
isn't
right.
it? You know, like it's something he overheard, you know.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And
right,
I think, and look, it's a grey area, but he is not advocating for the mistreatment of homosexuals. You know what I mean? Mark Knopfler is not. And pricks like that exist. You know?
Exactly.
And as you said, it's sort of exploring the abhorrence of those ideas and those people, you know?
Sure. The song is about a blowhard who is so obviously jealous.
Yeah.
He is so not in touch with his own emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to lash out at things that he doesn't understand, be they gay people or rock stars on the TV.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, look,
I think we talked about that.
I mean, ultimately, and I think Sadie says this in her article, ultimately, I think it is up to you, the listener, to decide.
Totally.
But for me, I still love the song. So there you go. Which brings us to the topic of the video.
Oh, the video.
Now, before we sort of went into the video proper, I wanted to give just a little bit of background on MTV. Mm-hmm. Okay, yep. MTV referenced in the lyrics.
They are.
And also probably the medium that helped give this song the popularity it did because of the video, right?
I believe it was one of the most popular videos to ever be on MTV.
And again, I think MTV could be the subject of an episode unto itself. MTV started in 1981, and I didn't want to go too far into it, but I really wanted the listener to sort of think about the sort of concept of, which is hard to do these days, pre-internet, pre-YouTube.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? The concept of just a music video station was sort of mind-blowing at the time.
We could probably call this podcast pre-internet. All the stuff we cover is so far is pre-internet.
Is pre-internet. So this all of a sudden was a hugely influential medium, you know. So that coupled with...
this is back in the days where the M in MTV stood for music.
Yeah, exactly. Hugely influential when it sort of came out. But Knopfler wasn't interested in a video originally, was he?
He really didn't want to make a video for money for nothing. He didn't like the idea behind it, but MTV was strongly urging him.
He sort of thought it wasn't a pure artistic expression like playing live or songwriting, you know what I mean?
So MTV asked the director, a guy by the name of Steve Barron, to go talk to Mark Knopfler.
Didn't they fly him to Budapest?
He went to Budapest where the band were playing. They were playing a gig, and they met up after one of the Dire Straits gigs.
And he still wasn't really into it.
Yeah, he still wasn't into it, but his girlfriend was there.
Yeah.
And said, there's no interesting music videos on TV nowadays. This video sounds interesting. I reckon you should do it. And so he did it.
And he did it. So
he did it in a minute. Call back to episode 6. Steve Barron, the guy that directed the video, is pretty interesting dude as well. He directed 2 movies from my childhood.
Oh, really?
He directed the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
You're kidding me. Did he?
In 1990.
I love that. I lost the sigh. I can get it back. I can get it back. Casey, cricket? No one understands cricket. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. Yeah.
Oh man, we're going back right to
such a good
right
film.
To the childhood.
I remember how dark that movie was.
It was,
just
man.
Light-wise, it was very, very dark. You know.
And they're referencing movies like Critters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Man, that was a great film. I haven't watched that in years.
So good. I probably wouldn't watch. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
The Secret of the Ooze, yeah. Doesn't hold up so much?
Not so much. Vanilla Ice is amazing in it, but the rest of it...
Well, he's an auteur. He's an artiste.
He's a virtuoso, some would say.
He enjoys, amongst other things, stopping, collaborating, listening.
He's a good listener.
Yeah, he's a good listener.
Too bad. He should have cut back a bit on the ice. He's also collaborated with Insane Clown Posse, has Vanilla Ice as well. Just a little bit of trivia there.
Wow, I love how you crowbarred, buddy.
ICP
into this podcast.
They are a fascinating band. I would love to maybe cover them on one of these episodes.
Cool. Maybe I'll be washing my hair that week.
That'll be a solo episode for me, I think. Also, Steve Barron, though, the director of the Money for Nothing video, which is what we were talking about, he directed Coneheads as well.
Did he?
1993.
Oh, man.
He directed some episodes of the TV show The Storyteller as well.
Did he?
He did.
You're kidding me.
That's a TV show we talked about on Deaf Talk About Metal once.
That was, I think, one of the first VCRs I ever owned was that. And the Dark Crystal, too, actually, as a matter of fact. They were some of the first VCRs. When we first got a VCR player, with John Hurt.
As the
storyteller.
The narrator,
Fantastic actor. Anyway.
He also did a lot of music videos. I think he did just about every Aha music video, including Take On Me, which was a massive one.
He took on them.
He took on that video. And we'll probably cover that song at some point, I reckon. But he did videos for Bowie, Fleetwood Mac, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, and many, many more.
Well, I looked into... So Ian Pearson and Gavin Blair, who did the animation...
Animators,
went on to form Rainmaker Studios.
They did.
And I looked at their sort of... all the stuff they done, their filmography, I should say. And it's heaps of kids animation.
Yeah, right.
Lots of Barbie work. Barbie. Like Action Man, Beast Wars, like all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's like all those sort of kids shows. Yeah, but heaps of Barbie.
I mean, if it's making them money.
Good work if you can get it.
Money for nothing and Barbies for free. Something else that I fucking love about that video, though.
What?
Is how they intercut the live performances, and they had the rotoscoping with the colorful.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And the guitar fret. And
I mean, Mark Knopfler's sort of glowing headband that sort of was his signature.
Classic.
Man, that's great.
I guess it's at this point we should probably touch on the Weird Al parody.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So, Weird Al did a parody of the song called Beverly Hillbillies.
Got the load of this here truck now. We got the move to Beverly Hills, that is.
they had to change the title to Money for Nothing / Beverly Hillbillies because of some legal thing. It's all dry and boring info. But Al wanted to cover the song for his movie, the video from UHF. And he wanted to do the music video. So he got in contact with Mark Knopfler. And Mark Knopfler agreed to Weird Al being able to parody the song as long as he could play the guitar riff on the song.
That's pretty cool.
Which is amazing, right?
To be honest, I see no reason why Weird Al would have said no to that. You know what I mean? Nah, I want to do it on an accordion. You know what I mean? Which actually would have been really cool. But it's an inspired... Actually, you know what? If you haven't seen it, go away and watch it. And we'll just wait right here.
We'll wait here.
We'll wait here.
We're not doing anything better with that time.
We're just, you know...
I mean... I tell them what songs are coming up. You
would have thought... I mean, is it that... that said, we can't be that... Because we didn't tell them to watch the Weird Al. But I mean, you figure if it pops up, if people look at it on YouTube, it would have been a related video. And who wouldn't want to watch?
I'm just sick of these leeches, right? We put in so much effort.
Hard work.
And all they get is entertainment from us.
You know what I mean? Like they
give nothing.
They don't understand the difficulties involved in being as famous as we are.
Yeah,
you know,
bunch of scumbags.
Hey, hell,
you're back.
Hey, didn't see you there. Hey, how long have you been sitting there?
We were just kidding,
we're just doing a bit of riffing. It's a podcast thing you wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
great video, huh? Inspired.
It's so close to the original video to that Weird Al version. I love it.
Man, I would have loved to have been in the room when he put 2 and 2 together. the lyrics for Beverly Hillbillies went to the tune of Money for Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have been so happy.
And the offending lyric that we were talking about before was replaced with that little clampet.
Which... oh, dear. But look,
for the younger of you listening, the Beverly Hillbillies was a TV show from a long time ago that I grew up.
You know what? Go away and actually, no, we're not going to do that.
Let's not do it again.
We haven't got time for that. You go and watch it in your own time. We want to talk about now the tour for the Brothers in Arms.
The Tour de Force.
The Tour de Force lasted a year, like a year-long tour. Now, I just wanted to bring up. Now, I remember talking to my cousin about going to see Dire Straits. He went to see them on this tour.
Yeah, right.
13 shows straight in Melbourne.
Imagine that.
15 shows straight in Sydney. They left and then came back to do another 4. And to put that into perspective for Australian listeners, they did 7 shows in Perth. 7 shows in Perth. A week's worth of shows in Perth.
Nobody plays Perth.
Exactly. Exactly my point. But Dire Straits did 7 times.
7 times.
I just think that puts into perspective how fucking big this song and this band was at this time.
Yeah, particularly in Australia. Like we mentioned before, the charts, like 32 weeks or 34, whatever it was, in the number 1 spot. I don't think it was consecutively, but the total amount.
They just struck a chord, as it were.
Oh,
here.
shit.
Is
this another riffing on riffs?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
No.
Never mind.
It's not riffing on riffs, you know what it is? And God, I'm so happy I named this segment because it has never been more relevant. It's time for the money shot.
Oh, the money shot.
The money shot is where we speak about our favourite parts of the song.
This is the money for nothing shot.
This is the money for nothing shot. My favourite part, 100% the intro into the opening riff.
Sure.
In the extended version, not the video version. If you go and listen to the album version, it has this amazing extended introduction.
We're not going to wait for you to listen.
We're not going to wait for you to listen to that, but... And then just when it's such a big build up, and then it just drops into Knopfler, the double Knopfs riff. Man, go listen to it. That's my favorite.
So that's your money shot.
That's my money shot.
And the eerie kind of stings
when the Knopf shoots his proverbial sticky riff all over me. I am happy.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Yours, Gary?
My money shot was almost going to be the drums, the drum fill leading up to the opening riff.
Yeah.
Version. But That's not the money shot for me. The money shot for me is actually, for this song, is actually not a musical part.
Okay, what is it?
It's the absence of music. So in the riff, it goes dun, 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 dun. That pause there.
Oh, just how he chokes the strings.
He
He goes,
yeah,
"Can't." Yeah.
And there's just that beat, and then it's back.
Yeah.
That is my favorite part.
Oh,
of
that's
that riff.
rad. That's such a good
little
part.
pause is just, it just does it for me every
Yeah.
time. It just fucking gives me goosebumps.
It
whenever
gives
I
you,
hear it.
it just, that it's so funny how little bits like that might have even been a mistake, you never know, just make the song. Oh God, I'm so worn out after this money shot.
Oh man, money shots I want to do, they wear you out.
We better go get the mop before the next episode, Gary. I've got to clean this place up.
Well, speaking of the next episode, shall we decide, shall we let the fate decide what the next song we're going to cover is?
Yes.
So, I actually have something for this
Oh,
time.
really?
So usually we just play
That's actually kind of handy because the camels I ordered for my harebrained scheme to choose the next song actually cancelled.
Oh, they did?
So it's good that...
bloody camels.
Yeah, I mean, look, apparently they don't fit in a Volkswagen Golf, but the point is, you've got something and that's good.
Have you seen the movie Minority Report?
Yes.
You know how there's those precogs in the pool?
Yeah.
Did you notice the pool of water over there with precogs lying in there and looking all weird and stuff?
Hang on a minute. Oh, wait. For the listeners, I just did a big double take. I was wondering what that was. I meant to ask you about that.
So the precogs
Yeah.
are going to tell me what song that we're covering.
Okay,
What
yeah.
song we cover in the next episode.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I'll just... Oh.
What?
Well, if I just ask them,
Yeah.
that means I won't do the playlist on the phone.
Yeah.
And if I don't do the
The
playlist
on the phone.
they won't have anything to predict. So I have to do it on the playlist on the phone, as usual. So we may as well just do it how we usually do it.
Well, the last thing I want on this podcast is to interrupt the space-time continuum. We cannot have that.
Not even a little bit?
No, we cannot have
Sounds like
that.
fun.
That's for the other podcast.
Right.
So let's rotate the board.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad it took all this time to bring these precogs into the
Hey, that's
studio.
fine. I've got somewhere to scoop the cum into now.
I thought that was for our podcast handy wipes. Right.
Actually,
That's
can we do
that's
that?
a reference
Careless-
to episode 0.
Careless Whispod handy wipes. We got to do that ad
Oh, yeah.
for when you blow your load listening to pop music.
Did you just blow your load, but you're on the go?
I can see the guy on the train with the headphones just kind of bopping along like, oh.
And then we lean in with a box of handy wipes. It fucking writes itself, this thing.
Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck this part. We're going into
We're going into advertising.
we're going into advertising. All right, enough of this.
Enough of this gay banter. Let us move on to the next song. So I'll just get the playlist put on shuffle here,
All right.
and here we go.
Oh my God! The Longest Time by Billy Joel.
We got a bit of a BJ.
We got a bit of Jilly Bowl.
Oh, excellent! I can't
Nothing
wait
but
to go.
net.
Man, these are
Bangers.
Man.
Bangers.
we haven't released these episodes yet, but I can just see our name in lights already. Just riding on the coattails of Dire Straits and Billy Joel.
Just
basically.
give us the money now. Like, you might as well.
So I've been Gary,
I'm Jeremy.
and you've been listening to Careless Whispod.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Got the video of the year for the 3rd MTV Video Music Awards, which I kind of like considering the lyrics.
Sure.
But before we go any further, have you got a bit of stuff? Give us some. Set the scene, Gary.
Wait, hang on a sec. When you say you like that it won the MTV award considering the lyrics. That's for the F word that's in there, right?
Oh, Gary. More on that later, dear listener. But set the scene for us.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, no shit. Set the scene for us, Gary. Set the stage.
Okay, so the
What have
band...
Dire Straits been doing up until this point?